Hi everyone, welcome on this new video where we'll be reviewing subject lines A/B test. We'll be covering everything that you need to know about how to set them up, how to find the best inspiration, how to measure success, and how to actually outperform your competitors with your email marketing strategy. And it starts with a great subject line. So let's get started. As usual, for these videos, no BS. We're going to share how to do this correctly, step by step. We're going to share some best practices, mistakes to avoid, some of the best examples and inspiration we've found as well. And we'll try to make sure that you can do all of this automatically. So those are some of the best practices that we're going to review today. We're also, for most of them, make sure to connect with examples and inspiration. The very first thing that I wanted to make sure that we were reviewing today is goals and metrics. Whatever the kind of A/B test you're setting up, typically if it's for subject line, just make sure that you define one primary metrics. By setting up these primary metrics, you also need to set up a goal. While most recommendations are advising you to actually use your open rate as a metric you can use to measure the success of your A/B test, I would advise against for one specific reason. The thing is, of course, your subject line is going to affect your open rate. The better your subject line is, the best your open rate is as well. That is for sure. However, your end goal is not the open rate. It's actually quite easy to trick your audience into opening an email. The open rate by itself is not the end goal. It's a measure of your email marketing funnel. Actually, it's a step, but it's not the end goal. The end goal of a great subject line is revenue. The open rate just shows you within your whole funnel how effective your subject line is for revenue. The thing is, if you create a subject line that is tricky enough for people to open the email, but then the content of your email is not actually fulfilling the promise that you've made in the subject line, then you lose everyone after. You do this once, twice, 3 times, and then you've lost your audience forever. Here's another reason. Let's say that you have 2 emails, you have 2 different subject lines. One is having 20% open rate, the other is having 30% open rate. You would think that the one leading to 30% open rate is actually better. The thing is, if you don't look at the CTR, the revenue to the amount of conversions, you're missing half the picture. So these figures are obviously fake, but it kind of shows exactly what I want to share. Let's say that we have the same email content, the subject line number 1, 20% opening rate, subject line 2, a killer subject line that tricks user into opening the email, 30% open rate. Here we have 200 people that open the email. Let's say that we have here 1,000 subscribers. Here we have 300 openers, which looks way better. But then the people who open because of this subject line have been tricked into opening the email. They don't convert as much as those ones who really open the email because of that specific reason. So actually subject line number 1 here in that case is better, even if it doesn't have the open rate. It seems like a use case a bit tricky, but it isn't that much at all. I've seen that again and again and again and again. If you optimize for open rate, you're losing people and you're certainly losing money on the table as well. So set up the right metric, set up the right goal, and this goal needs to be revenue. For the first one. The second one is big swings. I love this one. The question is, when you do a subject line A/B test, don't test small things. Test big things. Those are the kind of example that we review after, but those are the kind of stuff that you can test right away. I've listed a few A/B tests that you can, for real, use for your next newsletter. Ask a question versus a statement and see which one of these will work better. Benefits versus curiosity, with or without numbers, with or without urgency, personalized versus generic, and then the length of your subject line. The thing is, there's not one single best subject line that will work for every single company. It depends on your branding, depends on your audience, it depends on the kind of emails that you're usually sending as well. So you need to test to see which one will convert better, depending on the kind of subject line, the kind of email that you are sending as well. But here are a few examples that I wanted to share here. All right, perfect. I wanted to take Glossier as an example. There are a few tests here that are quite interesting to see. You're running out of time, personalized, free crème de you ends tomorrow. So we're perfectly in the personalized versus generic, even if it's not that personalized, but it's a you versus again here. You have a free gift, you deserve a free crème de you. Again, here you have a gift, it's not very specified, free crème de you, then we know exactly what you're talking about if I'm a Glossier fan, of course. But again, here you see two subject lines. You need to optimize on revenue because maybe the people that are opening this one will convert way less than the ones that are actually opening this one because they know exactly what they will get from this email as well. Large enough sample. Of course, you don't use only 10% of your audience to actually test your subject line. Test on 50% of your audience, 25% each subject line. Please only test 2 subject lines, 25% on each, then send the winner subject line to the remaining 50%. Here's the thing, you're optimizing on revenue. So the winner has to be defined on the revenue generated. So that leads us to the next point, which is the duration of the A/B test. If you're B2C, aim for between 4 and 12 hours, 1-2 days for B2B. If you're leading to stronger conversions as well, of course, you can take more days. Then, of course, check secondary signals on top of just the revenue and subscribe rate. That is usually the consequence of having a tricky subject lines with high open rates, but then high unsub rate as well. Spam complaints. Open rate is actually one of the secondary signals that you can check here as well. That's something that's very important for me to actually also create a meaningful and an efficient email marketing strategy. Clarity beats clever. Be clear. Don't try to be clever. Being clear will always bring you way more results over the long term than just being clever. And make sure that you align your subject line with the content of your email as well. Of course, the very last one, don't misinterpret the data and make sure to aggregate all the learnings that you're making over time on every single campaign that you're sending, every single small insight that you're getting that this subject line or this kind of subject line works better than the other. Everything is going to pay over the long term. I love how Ana Luisa is testing again and again and again and again a lot of different subject lines for the very same specific topic. You can see caps versus no caps. And basically on this platform that I'm using here as well, called Panoramata, you can track your competitors' marketing activity in one single place. Emails, ads, landing pages, SMS flows, socials, and much more. And we're also going to track for you if they are having variations, if they're setting A/B tests. That's something that you'll be able to see on the platform as well. You can see again the caps versus no cap here. Songbody as well is a great source of inspiration for your subject lines. Here's something that I love actually. A lot of caps recently. That's a trend. All right, a lot of caps cap subject line have been used recently. Songbody is going to be a wonderful source of inspiration when it comes to finding great subject lines as well. There was another, let's say in the food industry, for instance, Surreal is doing a great job in their email marketing as well. Kudos to them. Let's see the emails that we have here. They're going to be a great inspiration when it comes to finding great ideas for subject lines. All right, that was all for today for the subject line A/B test topic. Measure against revenue and big swings. Here is a list of the things that you can test. Make sure that you test big to achieve the best results. Thank you for being here, and wherever you are in the world, have an amazing day. Take care. Bye-bye.